Hello, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Today, playing Dimir Mill in Historic Best of 3. Before I get into the list and talk just a little bit about it, the usual YouTube stuff, like, comment, and subscribe if you can. Thank you very much for doing that. And information about the deck list as well as timestamps are in the description as always. Now, in my last video, I got the release date of the D&D set a little mixed up. It actually came out on the 8th digitally of this month. And, well, that means I got access to Tasha's Hideous Laughter. I knew I wanted to jam this card into Historic Mill as soon as I saw it spoiled. It is a sorcery speed spell for 3. It says each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until that player has exiled cards with total mana value of 20 or more. This is a huge lottery card. It has a huge upside and, well, it has some drawbacks as well. I played 13 best of 3 games in preparation to make this video, and of those 13 games I was able to cast this card 18 times, and the result was an average of 12.8 cards exiled. A lot of lows though. So Jeskai control as low as 5 cards exiled. That was because I hit Magma Opus and like Teferi and a couple other high CMC cards. It really sucked. However, the big high was 19 with Jun Food. Hit a lot of lands, hit a lot of 1 CMC spells, and well, this card just kept exiling cards, and it was great to watch. Some other notable numbers: Angels. I exiled 17 cards 3 times against them. Against Yorion, 13 and 14 cards, which surprised me a little bit because they play very high CMC cards, but I guess they also play a larger number of lands, which works in Hideous Laughter's favor. Grixis control, I hit 17 cards. Gruul, 12 and 16. So, you know, the average seems to be okay. I'd like to keep recording data on this card to see if that 12.8 holds up over time. If it does, I think 13 cards exiled is actually pretty good value for 3 CMC in a mill deck. Next, let's talk about some of the other cards in the deck. We are playing some creatures, 4 Rune Crabs and 4 Merfolk Secret Keeper. Rune Crab, 0/3 for 1. Landfall creature, whenever land enters battlefield, target opponent mills 3 cards. Really great with something like Fabled Passage. And then Merfolk Secret Keeper is 0/4 for 1. Very good blocker. Aggro decks are a big problem for our deck, so having access to a card like this is really good. And then it also has an adventure that allows us to mill our opponent for 4 for just 1 blue. Not a bad card. Only playing 3 of it because it's not the best way to mill, but still okay to have around. Next, more mill cards. 2 Drowned Secrets, 2 CMC Enchantment. Whenever we cast a blue spell, mill 2 cards, or the opponent mills 2 cards. All of the cards in our deck are blue outside of the direct removal spells like Fatal Push and Bloodchief's Thirst, so going to be adding a lot of value to our deck over the course of the game. Then we're playing 3 Maddening Cacophony, a sorcery speed spell for 2. Each opponent mills 8 cards. It also has a kicker for an additional 4 that makes the opponent mill half their library, but the reality of that is if you're able to spend 6 mana on this, well, you've probably already torn your opponent's graveyard apart, and you're not going to get much more value than 8. So most of the time, you're casting this for 2. And then Teferi's Tutelage, 4 of them in the deck, 3 CMC Enchantment. It says when it enters the battlefield, draw a card, then discard a card. Great way to fix your hand. And then whenever you draw a card, you mill, or your opponent will mill 2 cards. Well, that's really great because we are also playing 4 Brainstorms and 4 Into the Story. Brainstorm technically draws 3 cards. That means 3 triggers on Teferi's Tutelage. And then Into the Story draws 4 cards, 4 triggers on Teferi's Tutelage. If you have multiple tutelages on the field, it will stack. So you could get, 6, 9, or, 4, 8, 12 triggers when you cast either of these spells with multiple tutelages on the battlefield. Next, a few cards to help us stay alive. 2 Bloodchief's Thirst. I'm playing Bloodchief's Thirst over Fatal Push because we need creature removal, but we also need Planeswalker removal. Cards like Nursa and Teferi are big problems for our deck, so having ways to kill them is really important. I might even argue going up a few Bloodchief's Thirsts might be a good idea. Then playing also 4 Memory Lapse. Now, Memory Lapse, when you counter a target spell, it puts it on the top of the owner's library. Now, kind of bad because they're just going to cast it next turn. However, we are a mill deck, so majority of the time we get to counter something, and then on our turn we can usually mill that card away. And then also playing 4 Drown in the Lock, a 2 CMC instant speed spell that essentially will counter anything you want and destroy any creature you want. There is a condition that your opponent needs to have cards in their graveyard, but 9 out of 10 times that condition is always going to be met, and this card is just nutty majority of the time. Next, over in the sideboard, playing 1 Fatal Push, 2 additional Bloodchief's Thirst, and 2 Ritual of Soot. Aggro decks are a problem, as I said before, so we need a way to slow those down. You could even make the argument to increase the number of these cards in the sideboard. Also playing 1 Stern Dismissal, returns a target creature or enchantment to their hand. Pretty good card. 2 Spell Pierce and 3 Mystical Disputes. You want to bring in both the Spell Pierce and Mystical Dispute against Esper control, Jeskai control, Azorius control, whatever control flavor you're up against. And then we have a little bit of graveyard hate, 3 Grafdigger's Cages, and 1 Cling to Dust, because our strategy actually enables a lot of graveyard strategies. So having ways of dealing with the opponent's graveyards is kind of important. Now, I do want to talk about some troublesome cards. Of course, Thoughtseize, always annoying. A turn 1 Thoughtseize from the opponent can really disrupt your plan if they can take your Crab on turn 1 or your Drowned Secrets, whatever it is. It just sets you behind so much. You really need to start that mill plan very early. If you're starting your mill plan on turn 3 or turn 4, you're probably not going to be able to get there in the end. So I think an opponent playing a Thoughtseize and really throwing off your curve is going to be one of the biggest ways you're going to end up losing a lot of games. Then Narset Parter of Veils is the absolute worst planeswalker to run into, and the reason is her passive. Each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. Well, we are playing Teferi's Tutelage that says when it enters the battlefield, draw a card, then discard a card. We have to play that on our turn after we've already drawn 1 card. So if we want to play our Tutelage, we're down 1 card. And then we're also playing Brainstorm and Into the Story, 2 cards that get a lot worse with a Narset on the field. And then Commit to Memory, also a very annoying card. The commit part, whatever, it's the memory part that's a big problem. 6 CMC sorcery spell, Aftermath, so they have to cast it from their graveyard. And it says each player shuffles his or her hand and graveyard into his or her library, then draws 7 cards. Well, you could have your opponent milled out 59 cards in their graveyard, 1 card left in their deck, and then they cast Memory, and suddenly all that hard work is out the window. They have a full library again, and from that point, you're probably not going to be able to win. However, we do have a lot of counter magic in the deck, and usually we can hold them off. Memory is a 6 CMC spell, so it's really hard for them to be able to cast it and hold up protection for that spell. So, you know, it's not the biggest thing, but it's something to keep in mind. Next, I already mentioned graveyard strategies. The main graveyard strategy that you have to watch out for right now is Arc-Light Phoenix, still a very popular deck. If we are milling our opponent, putting a ton of Arc-Light Phoenixes from their deck into their graveyard, well, that's just helping them get them back onto the battlefield a little bit faster. So make sure you have your Grafdigger's Cages out and keep an eye on Phoenix, because it's going to be a big problem for you. Then Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, shows up in a lot of Selesnya Coco decks. Really annoying because we have basically an entire deck of non-creature spells. If you can't find a way to destroy her, like a Bloodchief's Thirst or Fatal Push after boarding, this thing is just going to slow down your plans so much, and they're going to be able to load up the board and just smash your face in. And then an interesting sideboard card that I've only run into literally once yesterday when I started playing Mill was Leyline of Combustion. I don't know how the arena algorithm works, but for some reason they like to put me up against guys that are ready for Mill. This card, if it's on the field, you're basically dead. It says whenever you or at least one permanent you control becomes a target of a spell or an ability, an opponent controls, Leyline of Combustion deals 2 damage to that player. Well, all of our enchantments and a lot of our mill cards target the opponent, so every time we mill them for 2 with Teferi's Tutelage, we're going to be taking 2 damage. You're not going to be winning through a Leyline of Combustion. Anyways, that is the Dimir Mill deck. Gonna try it out. It's not the strongest deck. It's like a C+, B- tier deck, I think. But it is a lot of fun. Out of the 13 games that I have played, I have won 7 of them. So, you know, a 50-55% win rate is not bad with the deck if I can do it consistently. But there are a lot of decks in the format that just line up really well against our strategies, so I'm not that hopeful. Still, I enjoy playing it so much, and I hope you enjoy watching the videos. Gonna jump into some games and see how they go. See you over there. Alright, Dimir Mill in Historic, hoping to avoid aggro decks. Getting to play first, that's good. Okay, opening hand, well, a lot of cool cards, but 1 land, not usually good enough. Do have a Brainstorm to maybe find more, but it's so risky. Yeah. Can't keep that. Instead, yeah, it's just so slow. Gotta keep it. Man. So these 2 cards don't necessarily play together very well, because we exile cards and we need cards in their graveyard for that one. I think I gotta throw back Into the Story, unfortunately. Let's lead on the Fabled Passage, and I think I probably have to get an island with the Fabled Passage. Okay. Playing against something unique. Probably looking like the... Yeah. This looks like the combo, the book combo deck. Drowned Catacomb, not terrible. Is it worth it to put out? No, maybe I just put out Fabled Passage. No, Lochling. Okay. Hold up the Brainstorm. Hopefully that finds me something. Another Thraben Spectre. Yeah, I feel like this is, what is it? Book of Exalted Deeds, I think it is, with the Faceless Haven. Goes into a bit of a combo. It could also just be mono white aggro, which, yeah, definitely looks that way. So get to take one, get to Brainstorm. Okay. Okay. So I could put out the Teferi's Tutelage and get that online. I could also put out the Merfolk Secret Keeper and just have it there as a blocker, which is not the worst idea. Yeah, I'm gonna get the Tutelage going. I think I have to. Gotta start milling some of their cards. This Hideous Laughter might do really well against this deck because they have a lot of 1 CMC spells in the deck. This might actually hit a new record, beating the Jund Food at 19. But again, these two cards not working well. These two cards work especially well. Ooh, Thalia. Scary. And they are playing the Faceless Haven. So, now I guess it's probably... If they have a Lord next turn, that's going to be quite a bit of damage. An additional 4. So it's going to be 10 damage. I'm at 15. I still think I'm going to do this. I want to play Hideous Laughter. That's what I'm here for. 16. Oh, not quite. What were the big cards? Unbreakable Formation. Pretty good. Yeah. Okay. Still, down to 29 cards, and with the Teferi's Tutelage on board with Brainstorm and an Into the Story coming up, yeah, not bad. Still, lots of damage coming in. And they're just going to flood out the board. Really need those Ritual Soots from the sideboard. That's for certain. Okay, bing, bing, bing. So basically dead next turn. That's fun. Okay. Well, maybe the Hideous Laughter gets me there with a huge hit from that. I'm going to mill 6 here, then another 1 on my upkeep. This represents another 4. So... I could Into the Story, but I kind of feel like it's Tasha's and just a big hit with Tasha's. Ooh, exactly. They had 4 left, so we milled a total of 32 cards with 2 Tashas. Yeah. All right. Well, that's all that matters, right? Now I can just stop the video. Confirmed, Hideous Laughter works. You can mill aggro decks out. Okay, Ritual Soot coming in, Fatal Push coming in, and I think Bloodchief's Thirst are coming in. Need all of those cards, that's for sure. I feel like Memory Lapse is probably not going to be good. This is also new, kind of cute. I'm glad they did something with the bottom view because it was kind of getting annoying for adding and removing cards. So take out one of those, and then maybe one Drowned Secrets. Drowned Secrets tends to be one of the weaker cards overall in mill in this deck. Especially since I brought in a bunch of black cards. Okay. I'm wondering if I want to take out both Drowned Secrets and put in maybe Cling to Dust, gain a little bit of life, draw a card. Yeah, I like Cling to Dust more than I like Drowned Secrets. Okay, try something like that. So I got to record that. Mono white was 32 cards in total on 2 spells. Write that down. Got my little notepad going. Gotta find out if this card is actually good or not. Alright, keeping this one because of the Ritual of Soot. Early Rune Crab to act as a blocker is kind of nice. Especially with the Fable Passage to follow it up. Gonna need to find better lands off of this Brainstorm though, or kind of draw into land. Sure. So the opponent gains a life, but that's fine. We don't care about life. Do I want to brainstorm? No, yeah. We're definitely putting out 2 Rune Crabs because I have 2 Fable Passages. Definitely going this route. Alright. So they should be able to hold off quite a bit of aggression for a while. Yeah, that's fine. Although they put on the Clarion Spirit, they'll get in for 3. Yeah, 3's damage. Double Crab. Should I get a black source? I guess it doesn't really matter. I'll get that. Okay, I'm gonna brainstorm it. I want to make sure I definitely have 4 lands. Uh-oh, now there's trouble. So I could be greedy and put out the Rune Crab and then Fable Passage, but then I'm definitely not drawing the 4th land. I think I have to search for the land. As much as I would love to mill an extra 8 cards. No, you know what? I'm going to mill an extra 8 cards because these Rune Crabs are probably dead anyways. I mean, with the Ritual stuff, right? And they're down a lot. They're going to take another 9. Did I say 8? I think I messed up. Anyways, an additional 9 cards now with this Crack of Fable Passage. It's actually going to shuffle away the Drown of the Lock-in into the story, so I do still have the chance to hit. Okay. Excuse me. Alright, that wasn't the worst thing. And them being at 20, if I can hit this Ritual of Soot within the next turn or 2. Block here, block there. Down to 11. No big deal. Another Fable Passage off the top, please. Well, it's a land, but it's not the land I'm looking for. Don't want that. So, is the plan to Fairy's Tutelage? Just survive? Yeah. Okay. Alright, yeah. Because Teferi's Tutelage alone with 2 Brainstorms is going to get me the win if I untap. So I don't even need this ritual. Basically, these 2 Rune Crabs are going to jump in front of everything they can. That's a lot of damage. I don't think it's enough, though. They put this on the Spirit. Put it on the Spirit. Really? That seems foolish. Sure. Awesome. Beating aggro. Feels real good. Alright. They know what's happening. Great start. Didn't even need the Ritual of Soot. Oh, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. Next one. Alright, match 2. First one went pretty well. Got a little bit of water. Throat's all cleared up. A little dry there. And opening hand looks fantastic. Definitely gonna keep... Yeah, I'm gonna keep that. What are we up against? Temple of Malice. Well, Rakdos, but what does Temple of Malice mean? We get a temple of our own. So I could lead out on the Rune Crab, but I kind of am leaving it to be able to be destroyed. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put out the Watery Grave. I'm not going to put out the Rune Crab. Instead, I'm going to protect my Tutelage and my Rune Crab from a Thoughtseize with the Brainstorm. Opponent does neither. Hive of the Eye Tyrant. That's a new one. Okay. Well, I'm going to hold the Brainstorm because Teferi's Tutelage is coming in a few turns. So I am going to put out the Rune Crab this time. If it gets killed, it gets killed. That's the fate of the crab. So they are on a Kroxa deck, and that means I am helping them. Is the Drowned Secret good enough? I don't think it is, because I'm going out with Tutelage next turn, probably, and then Cacophony into Brainstorm. They play Power Word Kill. Very, very cool. So I could put out the Rune Crab and Temple of Deceit, or I could go out with the Tutelage. I think it's Tutelage time. Find that. Do I want my... No. We'll throw away the Deceit. Oh, what's going on over here? This is funky. Opponent is doing something fun. Now, the cool thing is, Death Shadow is useless against us because I don't think I've ever taken an opponent down below like 16 or 14 life, and that was all damage done by themselves. Okay, Liliana, annoying. We could kill it next turn. So she can kill my Rune Crab pretty easily. I don't want to give up any of these cards. I like... Maybe it's a land and hope to draw into another land. I think that's what it's got to be, right? Yeah.
We're doing things my way.
It's a much better land. So, do I kill Liliana just off the hop right now and be done with it? Or do I get cute, let her kill my Rune Crab? You know what? They're going to have so much removal in their deck, I think it's fine to just let them kill my Rune Crab. And then I may as well do this. 32 cards. And this Tutelage with the Brainstorm is going to do a lot of work, and then it's going to continue doing a lot of work. Thoughtseize, okay. Well, let's protect our best cards with the Brainstorm. A few more cards milled. I wonder what the holdup here is. That's fine. Let's put this and this on the top. That feels real good. 3 triggers of Tutelage. They find a Fabled Passage. They're basically forced to use the Liliana to kill the Rune Crab now. And then we're going to draw into the story and then be able to cast it next turn.
I grow strong. You grow weak.
I may as well do it now. Maybe I find a Temple of Deceit that I can put out. They're done with it. Alright, well that feels cool. So they're like a discard black control type deck. That's weird. Rakdos control. Definitely like wannabe rock. So, what does that mean? Probably I want Spell Pierce, 100%. And I think I probably want Cling to Dust. I don't think I want Grafdigger's Cage, because I imagine their only graveyard card that's going to be of worry is Kroxa. Wherever Kroxa is. Right here. And I can just snipe it, hopefully, with a single Cling to Dust. I don't think it's worth it to bring in all of the Grafdigger's Cages for just that. Otherwise, I think nothing else is coming into the deck. Maybe an additional Bloodchief's Thirst. I'll think about that for a minute. Merfolk Secret Keeper's probably pretty weak overall in this matchup. The crabs are very vulnerable, but I still think they're probably worth having in just in case I can get a few triggers off. No, I think it's fine like this. I'm not too scared of the Waker of the Dead. It's a strong card, but it's fine. I say that right now. It's going to destroy me this game. Watch. Okay, this is real risky. If they have a way of getting rid of the Rune Crab on turn 1 or turn 2, then this hand is real bad. If they don't, and I can get these Drown in the Locks turn on, it's a real good hand. I'm going to try it. I'm going to risk it. So no Thoughtseize on 1. It's so tricky here. So my options are I put out the Watery Grave, I put out the Rune Crab. They don't kill it. Next turn I have Landfall trigger, and then I have Drown in the Lock or Memory Lapse open. If I put it in tapped and I keep the Rune Crab in hand, it's protected from removal, but then next turn I put it out and I don't have 2 mana up. So I think I have to put it out now. Hope they don't have a Fatal Push or something for it on this turn. They do. Oh, they have a Waste Knot. Okay. Perfect. So, put out the land. And now, I have Counter Magic for basically everything they play for the next 3 turns. I hope I draw some lands. Yep. See ya. Oh, it's so good. If I find one more land, and I can turn on this into the story, beautiful. I can also cling... I might not be able to cling to dust. I only have 1 black source. So if they put out something that I have to hit with Drown in the Lock, not going to happen. Phyrexian Arena. That gives them a lot of card draw. And that's kind of working in my favor. I don't hate it. Okay. You know what? I think it's fine. And I'm going to hit my graveyard. I'm going to hit my Memory Lapse because I don't want their graveyard to go too low. Because of Into the Story. Oh, thank God. Now, I didn't put out the Rune Crab there because I want 4 mana. Oh, attack with your Rune Crab, of course. I want 4 mana up for the Into the Story if I don't end up countering something with Drown in the Lock. Sure. Sure. I'm going to get rid of both Blood Chiefs because I think with this Drown in the Lock, I will basically be able to counter any threat that they put out. Yeah. Do I want a Cacophony this turn? Yeah, sure. Or do I want to hold up 2 Drown in the Lock? I'm going to be a coward. I'm going to hold up 2 Drown in the Lock. Careful play. They're down to 33. They're helping us again with Waste Knot and Phyrexian Arena drawing them cards. Do they take my Cacophony? Probably. Okay, draw a card. Worst case, I get to draw with the Cling to Dust. Second Castle Lockwane for the opponent. And a big boy. I don't like the big boy, but I think it's fine. They draw a card. Second Phyrexian Arena. Okay. I am going to hit their Croxa. Two, 4, 6. Yep, so I'll put it in tapped or untapped. If I kick this, I get 14 cards, but you know what? I think it's fine just to put it out like this. Hold up both Drown in the Locks. Assert dominance. Attack with the Rune Crab. They're down to 17. Drawing a lot. Which means they're going to have a lot of answers soon. Sure. Suddenly having 3 drawn on the locks isn't counting for much. They can actually get out their Death Shadow very soon. Really wish I had Teferi's Tutelage on the field for this entire time. Well, okay. I guess I just let this happen. I take 2 damage, I discard the draw on the lock, and then I draw with Castle Lockcoin. Yeah, sure. I did not expect to go up against a deck like this today. Alright. Alright. Hopefully they can't hurt themselves anymore. Oh, they're going to hurt themselves with the Phyrexian Arena. Okay, well, things are getting real dicey now. I might actually have to use this Clean the Dust eventually. I can't use it now, but eventually to gain some life. I'm going to put this on the top of their library because I don't want their Death Shadows to get any bigger. That being said, they have their Castle Lockwains that they can activate to take quite a bit of damage, 5 damage, and these are going to become huge. Yeah, I'm in trouble.
Try not to think too hard.
Wait, can I cast this yet? I can now. Okay. Let's go get a creature. I hope there's a creature. Are you serious? There's no creature? Okay, there's a Rune Crab in my deck. Oh, I can't get the Rune Crab, can I? Because I only have... Oh no. Oh no. Now I'm panicking. They don't have a single creature in their deck? They don't. Okay. Well, I guess I just take this damage. Okay. And hope they don't have another way of dealing 2 damage to me? Alright, now it's time to draw. It's gonna be real close. It's gonna be real close. Maybe I should have kicked the cacophony earlier. Oh, I died because of... I didn't read Ob Nixilis properly. I'm dumb. Yeah, I misread that card. I thought different things. Well, that killed me. And you know what? The Hideous Laughter, I bet, would have been enough to do that. That's bad. Because they only had 11 cards left in their deck. It would have been a Hail Mary, but I bet it would have been very close. Darn. I can't believe I threw that one away. Okay, they do have the ability to deal enough damage to themselves to get out those big old boys. So maybe I bring in the Fatal Push. Bloodchief's Thirst is better. Go down 1 memory lapse. Oh, there's just 61 cards there. That's weird. Maybe I misclicked something. Oh, we'll see what we get. Oh, I'm gonna be kicking myself that I didn't know exactly what that card did. All right. Very control-heavy deck or hand. We'll see. Yeah, I think that's actually literally the first time I've ever faced off against an Ob Nixilis. And you know what? Pretty good card. That was a great draw. Rune Crab, I can hold Spell Pierce up. I get their thought. Waste Not. Cool. Let's protect the crab. Crab gets revenge, attacks for 0. Got one of their Death Shadows too. Oh man, if only I were able to hit their Death Shadow. Like, if they had a creature in hand, I would have drawn with the... I wouldn't have drawn with the... What's it called? Cling to Dust. It just didn't work out in my favor because they didn't have a single creature in their deck. Or in the graveyard. Can you believe that? Can you stop this, please? Of course they... No, I put that in the graveyard, right? Yeah, I did. Alright, take your pick. Oh, look at all these lands. Not like this. Always attacking. They can actually maybe kill my crab next turn with the Blaststone if they get another land. 38 cards left in their deck. Okay. I'm not too upset about losing my graveyard. Oh, come on. The flood is real. I gotta stop attacking with the Rune Crab. I think it's angering the magic gods. But if I find a Cacophony now, which chances are I'm going to because I have drawn all my lands, I can kick it. Be a pretty good spot to do that. So they go ahead and go down a land. Sure. Into the Story. Fantastic. Maybe I should have Into the Story try to get a Spell Pierce. If I draw a Spell Pierce, sure, I'll be... a Memory Lapse would have been good too.
Tidy up in there.
Okay. Fabled Passage. I'm not going to crack it yet, because if I Memory Lapse something important, then I can crack the Fabled Passage and...
I don't think you'll be needing that.
Mill it away right away. If they try to escape the Kroxa, for example, which I think is what's happening. Oh. Okay.
Loneliness can hurt.
Okay. 2, 4, 6, 7. I can't Cacophony and hold up the Memory Lapse. I can't kick the Cacophony and hold up the Memory Lapse, so that sucks. But I'm gonna lose. They're gonna get rid of the Davriel next turn, right? I'm gonna lose the Memory Lapse. So you know what? I think it's kick. Yeah, it's a race now. Yeah, here we go. Take that, Davriel. 13 cards, 12 cards. Effectively 9 with the Fabled Passage.
Let me pick your brain for a minute.
Oh, they had the Field of Ruin. I made a mistake. I thought they were able to cast out the Kroxa, but colorless mana there. Pretty good. Unless they kill my Rune Crab proactively here. That would really suck. Okay. Okay. Sure. Wonder if I should crack the Fabled Passage while I can. I'm gonna do that. Only one left. Ooh, and I got rid of a Davriel. Genius 5-head play. Hopefully they don't use that Field of Ruin on my Watery Grave, because I don't have any more lands in my deck to go get. They still can't play out the Death Shadow. Okay, 8 cards. So, Cacophony off the top. There were so many cards that it could have been. Why did it have to be Spell Pierce? Now they get my Spell Pierce. No block. Maybe I had to block there, actually. I don't know. it's such a bad card. Actually, they're gonna kill me now if they have a Call against Command. No, I'm not dead yet. If they have a Fatal Push for the Rune Crab, but I have to chump block with the Rune Crab, and basically it's gonna come down to one card. Those last 2 draws were atrocious. Boop boop. Got nothing. Chumpy. Oh. That's fine. I know what you do now, Obnixilis. I think the laughter can give me a win. Cacophony. Drown a Lock. It's not the worst because I can at least kill Croxa with it. Gotta do it pre-combat. But if they have another Cold Against Command, they do 2 damage to me, and then they hit me there. I really feel like I definitely threw this one away in game 2. Oh yeah, of course I can just bring Croxa back. I can't do anything about it. Well, very cool deck from the opponent. I was not prepared to go up against what they were doing, and you know, that's the way it is. Next one. Alright, match 3. Gonna be beating myself up over that last match for a while. I feel like I can't get through one video without at least having one match that I feel like I just threw away. Ah, goodness. Anyways, cool deck by the opponent. I really like their creativity. Hello. Yeah, okay, I'll keep that. But yeah, really neat to see like Rakdos discard. How neat is that? Den of the Bugbear. Okay. So, conserve a little bit of life, put out the island. These Drown on the Locks are basically useless, but that's fine. Let's go to Fairy's Tutelage, get the mill thing going. Ooh, Tasha. We'll get rid of the Watery Grave. Yeah, it's fine. I'll find a land. Ooh, Goblins, and having a really slow start with their Goblins. Den of the Bugbear, too. I don't know how well Tasha works against this deck. And that's a big problem for me. I certainly have to kill this. Let's see if we can hit the 3rd or the 4th land. Oh, come on, deck. Why are you playing with me now? Okay. Yeah, Legion Warboss has got to go. That was going to get out of control real fast. Oh no. What's going on? Opponent is playing a really interesting Goblin deck. And I'm sitting here stuck on lands. Oh, I don't like this at all. Well, I think I probably have to hold up the Memory Lapse Drown on the Lock. Because I can't afford to lose to another Rune Blaster. Ho 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 ho! You, sir, are angry and rude. Please get out of here. I wonder if they're playing like a more traditional, like Goblin type deck. I don't see any Muxus yet. Lots of lands. They can start using these Bugbears. I'm in trouble because of this. Imagine if I were drawing a little bit better land-wise. I can't believe I threw away that 4th land, but you go up against Goblin, you don't expect Goblin Rune Blaster, as silly as that sounds, but yeah. Oh, I made a mistake. So I should have definitely killed the Bugbear before combat, obviously. Deck, come on, help me, help me. 3 lands. Oh, I hate this game so much. That's a lot of cards. Like, we're playing 23 lands, I believe. That's a lot of cards to be missing out on all these lands. Had such a good chance against this Goblins deck, I think. They had such a good slow start. Good for us. And then, obviously, a little bit of a bung up there with that Goblin, but... Now... guess it doesn't matter. I'm sad now. That's... Come on, really? 2, 3 lands? Ay, ay, ay. Alright. So... all the removal comes in. I don't know if they're playing Muxus. Like, I feel like... I would have seen a Muxus somewhere in here, right? But how could they not be playing Muxus? I don't know. Okay, Memory Lapse probably not good enough. And I think Drown Secrets is also a little bit weak. The Tashas is weird because they are actually playing a lot of 3 and 4 drops. Actually, I think the Tasha is not particularly good. I'll just go down to 2. And bring in the Drown Secrets again. I don't know if Drown Secrets is going to be good enough in this matchup. I think it's certainly not. But whatever. The one thing that is weird, so I did play quite a few games. Very little overlap. I mentioned in the intro that I played 13 games before I started recording. I played 11 unique decks. And then coming into this, the mono white deck is unique. This is unique, and that Rakdos discard deck was a unique deck as well. So I don't know what is really going on as far as, you know, just where are these decks coming from? Just really, really unusual. This hand's a little weak, but I'm gonna hope. Oh. My hope's gone. Oh, I'm definitely going to be killing that with the Blood Chiefs. Can't let that survive. Here come the lands. Alright, so Skirt Prospector, Mr. Problematic is back in 2s. Well, you know, Brainstorm's good. So, Fairy's Tutelage. Probably... what am I getting rid of? Well, Watery Grave. That made... Runecrab made that an easy decision. And hopefully those 2 lands are lands they needed. I like that they're playing the Goblin land. Good style. Murder Pirate 7. Rude. Just rude. Well, thankfully we're not in that bad a position. Can this hit any land, or is it just non-basic? Non-basic. So I'll go get a swamp with this Fabled Passage. And at least the lands will be set. And then I can go Brainstorm on their end step, probably into the story next turn. We'll see, but that's probably the plan. And gotta find an answer for that now. Really happy to see people playing Den of the Bugbear and, you know, possibly some of the other neat cards from this set. From the new set. Those manlands are really neat. There's a way for me to kill the Legion War Boss. I probably need to take advantage of that and do it now. I do need 2 black, though, for it, so I gotta be careful. Sure, it'd be nice to find that Ritual of Soot. So So draw that, and then I can crack my Fabled Passage. Get rid of that island, it's fine. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Alright, I deserve to lose this game now. I'm just dumb. I'm sure some of you were screaming at the screen not to do that. Man, my brain just got confused. Alright, let's see what Hideous Laughter does against this deck. 10. It's not too much, but not the worst either. Well, we'll see. Maybe in the end that might actually end up being the correct play. Just feel like an idiot now. Basically got one turn though, right? And by basically, I mean entirely. Ritual of Soot off the top would be fun. No, it's just not enough, is it? So I cast this. Fabled Passage is maybe enough? Well, how much is this? 8 plus 6? No, it's 1 short. I think it's 1 short. Yeah, they're gonna have 1 card left in their deck to draw. Well, I gave it my all. And maybe it turns out that Tasha's was actually the correct way to maybe eke out a victory here, but that's sad. Alright. Attack him for 0, give him the old hearts and pack it up. Yeah, just swing. Oh, come on. Don't turn it on, just swing. Well, gonna go to a game 4 and hope to pick up at least 2 wins. What's going on? Come on, kill me already. Heartbreaker, seeing an empty library like that. Next one. Alright, so my goal for this game is not to have any giant mess-ups. The last 2 games had 2 pretty monumental punts. Now I could go and cut those games, but then what kind of YouTube content creator would I be if I covered up all my hideous mistakes like that? Yeah, keep this one. Looks okay. I haven't seen a Drowned Secrets on the field yet. And if we are up against Temur, then if it's a control type deck, maybe it'll be okay. I always like drawing Drown the Lock. It's a great card. And it looks like I can get my Drowned Secrets onto the field. It's very unlikely. They could have a Mystical Dispute, but I mean, there's no way, right? Or Spell Pierce, but again, there's no way. Okay. So, start milling them a little bit. Good card. Unfortunately, my lands are not cooperating. So I would like to hold up one of these counter spells, but really only the Memory Lapse is doing something. I guess it's fine. Alright. I was thinking about firing off the Secret Keeper. Secret Keeper is actually really good with the Drowned Secrets because it doubles up on the triggers. And I guess we're against Temur, Opus. Maybe they're this is like oh, okay. Well, I'm glad I held up counter magic then. All right. So, I guess where does the Opus go? I think it's exiled, right? Oh yeah, it doesn't even go on the top. That's cool. So, put out the Fabled Passage. They have 3 cards in their library. Which means Drown the Lock can do some kind of silly things with Drowned Secrets. Oi. Gotta imagine they're playing Transmogrify, right? Okay, I'm going to brainstorm before cracking the Fabled Passage, hoping that the cards I put on top I can just get rid of. Although the cards on top are not bad, so... like that. Okay, just play it nice and slowly. Can't turn on the Into the Story yet, but it's coming soon. Sure. I kind of want to keep holding up at least 2 drawn on the locks each turn, just because I know something nasty is coming. You don't play a deck like this, you know, Mizzix Mastery plus Opus and the Dwarven Mine if you don't plan on doing something real nasty. Cycle the Ketria Triumph, sure. So they're getting ahead of me on lands. I don't like that, but... okay. I should have probably Into the Story there. I didn't realize that they had put enough cards in the graveyard, because I'm dumb and I'm really, really bad at playing tonight. Okay. Mill in for 6. Can still hold up both Drown on the Locks. Okay, so they're definitely a Transmogrify deck, 100%. They want to hit Comas, who knows what other nasty things they have in their deck to go into, and then they have another Opus in the graveyard. Hate it. I think I have to kill it. Yeah, Shark Typhoon is another one of those cards that's really nasty for our deck because it's just really hard to deal with. Even like a 3/3 Shark Typhoon just is such a threat. I think I might lose this game because I didn't cast the Into the Story last turn. I might not have a good opening for it going forward. So they have the creativity. They could also have counter magic up. So I think I have to try to kill the target. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, what can I do? Whew, lucky. So, shields down. Do I bluff the counterspell? I could hit them with a kicked cacophony for 14, plus, no, it would be less because it would trigger first. No, okay. So I think what I have to do is probably just hold my mana. If they end up trying to Transmogrify again Into the Story, try to hit one of my last 2 Drown on the Locks, and then go from there. More dwarves. Okay. Nice. So how many Comas do you think they have in their deck? I've already put 2 in the bin. Hey, I hit the memory lapse. That's pretty good. Okay. Hey, Rune Crab. Yay. Yay, 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 yay. $22 cards left in their grave or in their deck. Down to 19. With all these cards that I'm drawing, I really wish I had a tutelage on the field, but not to be. Hopefully they don't have a not a combustible Gearhulk, just a Gearhulk here. That's really bad too, because now I don't have any way of dealing with a 6/6 currently. Okay. Well, gonna take a little bit of damage. But they're getting pretty close to being milled out, so. As long as they don't have anything crazy. They attack with all, yeah. I don't like putting my Rune Crab here because I'm sure they have Prismari command. But the life total is getting too low. Although they could just go face with it. Probably better. They got something. What do they got? Oh, the anticipation's killing me. Opus. Well, that's 100% going on the top of their library. This might get me there. There's tutelage. I think we get there. 100% now. Wow. Seven. Cacophony for 8. And then some. Quite a bit that I could be doing here. May as well put it out. Nice. Whew. Alright, so what am I bringing in? Probably Spell Pierce and Mystical Dispute. I don't think it's a question. Do I also want... How does Transmogrify work? Is that what they're doing? Like, how did I not see a single... Oh, this, right. For each permanent destroy this way, its controller reveals cards from the top of the library until they reveal an artifact or creature card. Those players put the exiled cards onto the battlefield. So does this work? I don't know. You're gonna have to tell me if Grafdigger's Cage works in this situation. I'm also gonna bring in Stern Denial or Dismissal because of the tokens. Alright. I also think I like Fatal Push more than I like Bloodchief's Thirst in this matchup because it can hit their, not Transmogrify, the other card's target. I think Secret Keeper's probably a little too weak in this matchup. It's not going to do too much to stop them. I also think the Hideous Laughter is probably the worst card in my deck against them. And Cling to Dust will come in because it's pretty good at sniping something when they try to Mythic Mastery it. Try it. Alright, well I have my turn 1 Rune Crab. And then Counter Magic for days. Fatal Passage, not bad. Hopefully the Rune Crab sticks around for a turn or two. Looks that way. So I gotta put out the Drowned Catacombs because I gotta protect it with something. Have my fun, attack while I can. I'm not gonna be able to attack. Oh, hit 3 lands, holy moly. I'm not gonna be able to attack once they get mana up for Shark Typhoon, so what's going on? What's with all these lands? Oh, Miscast. Counter target instant or sorcery spell unless his controller pays 3. That's pretty good against my deck. Alright. Gotta hold off. I'd love to play out the Drowned Secrets, but the Fatal Passage, as I learned last game, is not going to come in if I only have 2 other lands. Come in untapped. Still can't believe such a bonehead move. Can't wait for the comments and the private messages I get. Alright. A perfect draw. 41 cards already, 38 cards. So, I mean, Rune Crab is just absolutely ludicrous. If you can get it onto the field early and your opponents can't do anything about it, like, it just accumulates so much value so quickly. Shark Typhoon. You got it. So a 2/2 is pretty bad, but it's manageable. I'm wondering if I'm going to do a Hail Mary into the story this turn. Come on, cast something. Put out like a Chandra. I think that was in the last person's deck, though. They're going to have some kind of interaction. But I can't rely on drawing a land next turn, can I? Gotta try, yeah. Sucks to have to shock that in. Ooh, Nezahal. That's not fun. I think this time I'm going to put out the Drowned Secrets. And that way I have Spell Pierce and my choice of Counterspell open. And hold off on the Into the Story for a little bit. If this is another Shark Typhoon, that's going to suck. I don't really want to face down 2/2/2s. I also love that the sentence or the phrase 2/2/2s is a real thing in Magic. 2/2/2s. Sounds so right. Wow. $32 cards. I can't go shields down. Alright, so this turn I think is when I'm going to try to fire off the Into the Story with the Spell Pierce. It's so bad. Alright. I could kill one of them with the Drown in the Lock. Okay, I can't. I'm just so terrified of, like, man, what is that card called? Indomitable Creativity. Okay. Into the story time. Brainstorm, okay. Oh, big hits. Although putting an Opus in the graveyard is never good. Yeah, Dispute is really good. Alright, you got it. Double Cacophony is good. As much as it hurts me to do this, I think I have to kill the 3/3. Otherwise, their clock is just too fast. It's a 5-turn clock with the 2/2 Shark, blocking the Dwarf here. $24 cards left in the graveyard. This is effectively, or in their deck, I keep saying graveyard. This is effectively 10 each because of Drowned Secrets. So I'm getting to a point where I could maybe fire it off, but I really need a land. Actually a land next turn would be real great. Hopefully the Memory Lapse plus Spell Pierce can add a little bit to that number with the Drowned Secrets. Okay. This might, I think I got there. Even if they counter this. It's fine. Yeah, this is fine. This is so fine. This is cool. So they pay the 2. They're tapped out now. Yeah, they get an Opus. But it's fine. They're doing 3 damage, and then I have 2 Cacophonies with the Drowned Secrets. That's a milled out deck to me. Oh. Yes. I'm so happy to get a double mill kill at the very end. Hopefully the last two games didn't dissuade you from sticking around to see that the mill strategy can, in fact, work. Yes. Okay, bit of a wrap-up. All right, so Dimir Mill, I think there's actually something here. These games felt pretty good. In my testing, I mean, it felt okay too, but I think if you just get a little bit better at the deck, maybe you can, do well. It's definitely not going to be top tier. Certainly not. It's not quite there. We need another 1 or 2 cards, maybe another crab, something like that. But, Tasha's Hideous Laughter in that second match against the Angrath, had I just read Angrath properly, maybe I could have gotten there with that card. It would have been very close, but at least it would have been better than just losing when I draw my upkeep card. And then being stupid with the Fabled Passage. I mean, I just got my order out of whack. I knew what I was doing. I had to put in the Watery Grave, but again, wires got crossed and things messed up. It happens, Still, I think things are cool. Drowned Secrets in that last game showed that it is a very real card. Things can get really out of control when you're just getting that 2/2/2 every time you cast a blue spell. Cacophony suddenly being 10 cards milled instead of 8 with the Drowned Secrets on board gave me the win at the end there. Tasha's Hideous Laughter against the mono white deck in game 1 or match 1 really proved to be a great thing. Obviously, Teferi's Tutelage plus Brainstorm and Into the Story are pretty bonkers. So overall, I think the pieces are here. Maybe the land configuration needs to be a little bit updated because it just feels a little bit clunky to me, mostly because of these 9 cards. I find that I'm getting these in my opening hand a little bit too often, and I'm having trouble getting out a proper mana curve because my lands keep coming in tapped. So I gotta reevaluate how my lands are. Maybe we just need another dual Dimir land to make it a little bit better. I gotta check it out. Maybe see what historic rogues play. And then in the sideboard, everything felt pretty good overall. Ritual of Soot, I think, is pretty good. I changed it from the card that does like -3/-3 to each creature of the non-type you name, which is pretty good for keeping your Rune Crab alive. The problem is, though, that Angels with 4 toughness kind of get away from that, so Ritual of Soot seems to be a little bit better. Everything else, kind of cool. I like Stern Dismissal just as a one-of, just in case you need to get rid of like a token, for example, in some matchups like the last one that I played. Shark Typhoon is a big problem. If they get like a 5/5 or a 6/6, it's going to end the game so quickly, and our resources to destroy it are so limited. Anyways, that is Dimir Mill. That's going to wrap this one up. See you in the next one. Take care for now.